energy to be as loud as the disrespect was. That's all I need. It was a bad shot, but he was out of rhythm as well.
Don't try to take up. That was a bad
shot. He was out of rhythm though.
What's up, buddy?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Y'all know the vibes. It's your boy Kendall. I'm here with my man Khalil, and this is another episode of the Wild Card. What's up with you, bro?
Man, doing good. Excited for this show. I'm expecting, the trolls to come in now at this point, so I'm already prepared for it. How you feeling, man?
Hey, man, I feel all right, man. I took a pregame nap, if you will, so I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling all right. Can't complain.
Always good to have that, that pregame, whatever you need to clear your mind and get prepared, so we can get the people what they want. They came to see the show, so we gotta give them what they want. We are the show, man.
Oh, for sure. We performers at this point, man. We gotta perform well, for sure.
Exactly. So, we give a little bit of time, garner some more people in here before we start up.
Like always.
Like always, my boy.
So what's the rundown? What's the rundown today, man?
So what we're gonna talk about today? We're gonna talk about the football game, obviously against Mississippi Valley. Let me go ahead and do this as well. Add this. If you do want to donate to the channel, we do have a cash app right there. We would appreciate all.
We appreciate any donation.
Yeah, nothing is too small, nothing is too large. So, but we want to talk about the football game against Mississippi Valley. That was a very boring game, for lack of a better word. We want to talk about what would be your grade for Coach Robinson so far, or what would you consider a successful season? And we got to talk about Coach Prime, his 60-minute interview, and then we got to wrap it up with the volleyball and soccer team. So I think it's gonna be a pretty good show.
Sounds good.
If you are in here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share it as well. We are live, Kendall. We're live, man.
Yes, sir. So, you want to wait until like 10 people get in here and you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's shoot for that.
All right.
It's been a really good, a very entertaining football season so far in SWAC, man.
I had a feeling it would be. I mean, especially after SWAC Media Day and all of that type of stuff, it felt like it was going to be pretty entertaining, and we obviously we're going to get to it, but yeah, it's looking pretty interesting in the next couple of games for sure. The latter part of the season,
especially for us, we aren't necessarily out of the hunt yet. It's going to take a lot for us to get in there, but
for sure,
nothing is easy. To the last minute, to the last second.
Yeah, nothing ever is. You're right about that.
But I think we're getting a little bit. Give it about 320, and then we can get things rolling.
Oh, I ain't know what you was talking about when you just said 320.
I hope you weren't thinking I was talking about time, buddy.
Man, I definitely looked. I was like, it's 7:03. What is he talking about? All right, you want to start?
Yeah, bro. Kendall. Obviously, we got an opportunity, as I mentioned, to watch the football game this past Saturday, as we did defeat Mississippi Valley 24-9. Very boring game. Nothing entertaining happened outside. I mean, winning is always nice, but Kendall, what was your takeaways from that victory?
First things first. I'm still worried about the offense. Offensive consistency has always been a thing that I've been worried about since I got here, to be honest. So that's what. Including this season, that's 3 seasons that I've in football, and offensive consistency has always been an issue for me. I think that we did enough to win the game, obviously, on the offensive side of the ball, but I feel like against a better team, we might have struggled a little bit more. Defense, another great game by them. The defense always steps up. Defense always does what they need to do, and I'm always encouraged by the defense. The offense, obviously. Statistically we had some success, but I think on the field it definitely could have been a lot better.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a smooth game by offense at all. Miles, came out there and he did enough to win the game. It wasn't a spectacular performance at all by any stretch of the means, but he did enough to win. That's all that matters.
Which is crazy to say after 270 yards passing. Like that's kind of crazy to say.
Yeah. But you would agree he didn't play, outstanding. He played, okay. He did enough to win.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the 270. I I want to say that's the most passing yards a quarterback has had on this team all year. Um, and
You
if
guys
so,
really try to
that
use this, huh? Okay, okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, bro. Like both of them have played, so I mean, it's that was encouraging, but at the same time, I feel like like you said, it could still be better. It could still be better for sure.
It could be better. I thought that we were gonna come out there and have our first 30-point game in the season. I was praying on it. I was hoping on it, and it just doesn't seem like we're gonna drop 30 points all this season. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's maybe play calling or we're not utilizing the talent that we have on offense. But like I've said before, I
Hmm.
think we have enough talent on offense. It just hasn't come together yet, and maybe it's because as we've said before, the offensive line, the quarterback play. I'm not even sure, and we talked about this at the game Saturday in the press box. I'm not sure if Demetrius would have done anything different than what Miles did. Neither one of them have really separated themselves from the pack. They're both playing about the same level to me. I think Miles turns the ball over more. He's a lot more turnover prone, but Demetrius holds the ball so long. So they're really opposites of each other. Really polar
I
opposites.
think I think one of the things that I feel like about this team is that you really can't get a good gauge on the quarterback play like that, at least just because of the offensive line around them. I think that the offensive line at times can be pretty decent, but then I feel like when they give up, like last week, for instance, against Jackson State, when they gave up the sack, and obviously Demetrius got injured. I think that situations like that you can't really do anything about. Like those type of plays affect the quarterback for the whole game, and you can tell even Miles is a lot more hesitant to do certain things than he would be if he had consistent protection. So I
But
feel
he's
like
also
that leads to a
really
lot of
risky,
consistent
and
problems.
he's also risky in a negative way because he turns the ball over a lot.
To be honest with you, I think a lot of times he's getting the ball out of his hands, which I think is a good thing because you don't want to take sacks. But yeah, I definitely think the decision making could be a lot better. Whether it is you just
Absolutely.
throwing the ball out of bounds or making smarter passes for sure.
Yeah, and I saw them, with the play calling. I saw some play calling that was very. I saw them call plays for Miles that really
Hmm.
fit Demetrius' play style better. And I don't. I'm not. I don't. I'm not sure what that's about. At some points, you gotta look at the offensive coordinator and say you're just not utilizing what you got. I'm giving you all the. You're coming to Thanksgiving, right? And I'm putting all this stuff on your plate. I'm putting the yams, the turkey, the macaroni and cheese. I'm not a fan of turkey really like
Oh,
that, but I'm
here
gonna
we
say it
go.
anyways. But I'm giving you all this food. Eat it.
Hmm.
Use it. It gets you strong. You're just sitting there,
Eat it is
playing with
crazy.
the food, playing around to feel like a little child, and you're not utilizing any of the talent I'm giving you.
Fair enough. I mean, I didn't know about the analogy, but fair enough. I definitely think when you have a situation where you have a quarterback that's where you don't have consistency anywhere. You don't have consistency at the position because both of them have been playing for the longest. You don't have a consistent protection on the offensive line. Um, then you don't have your receivers are in and out kind of. So I mean, it makes it difficult for the whole team, and I feel like that's one of the reasons why the offensive consistency is so bad because you really don't have a lot of consistency on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, for sure. And as opposed talking about Kendall's Wi-Fi, we know it's a little bit iffy right now. We're doing the best we can. Kendall, if it goes out, you
Keep
can
me
go ahead.
posted on how it looks because I can't see it. So like, if it's
You
bad, if it's
sound
that
good.
bad, I'm
You sound good. It's it can be in and out every now and then, but it's blurry a little bit. It's behind. But
okay because it looks clear for me, so that's why I asked. All right,
I understand. But to address this comment right here, the attendance was bad. That's something I want to address as well. We can't. I understand it's homecoming. I understand the significance of it, but at the same time, at some point, we have to. What am I looking? Kendall, what's the word I'm looking for? There has to be
I
a
don't know because
level of
you ain't
balance,
said that.
huh?
Okay, I
There
said
has
I
to
don't.
be.
I didn't know because you didn't say anything. Okay, a level of balance. All right, I got you.
I'm not. I don't. We have to value every single game. I think we're getting to a point, and it's not like we can say we're Alabama, like we're spoiled by winning. I think this is the
Mm-hmm.
first time in a long time that we have a really competitive team, and I think that if we're as fans, we got to support them. We have to support the team. And they're not. They didn't do that. Nobody really showed up for the team. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, and I'll say this: the product on the field wasn't the best Saturday. So I mean, that's something that I could take into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you call yourself a diehard ASU fan or call yourself a fan of this program at all, you gotta show up and show out every single Saturday, home or away, watching it or sitting in the stands. There has to be a level of support, a level of consistency. And I was very disappointed with the outcome in the stands.
I agree with you, but at the same time, I think we also got to put it into perspective. They played the worst team in the conference. I think when you're coming off of a homecoming where you have a whole bunch of fans coming that don't usually come to these games, and then you have a situation where you have the worst team in the conference coming in the next week. I wasn't expecting it to be as packed as it was. Now, I definitely agree with you. I think it should have been more people, but at the same time, I wasn't necessarily expecting it. I mean, especially since it's not is team in the conference coming in, but it's also a two that has no hype around it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough game to go to for people that just want to watch some football. That's a tough game to go to.
You might want to come in here in a second, by the way.
All right, bro. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what
I'm
right.
responding to what you were saying.
Hold it down, bro.
Okay, I got you. You'll be here. He'll be here in 2 seconds. Don't worry about it. But to respond to what he said, when he gets here, I'm asking this question. If we're talking about, they were the worst team in the conference. Let's say Deion Sanders was coaching the worst team in the conference. Let's say he was coaching Mississippi Valley. The attendance would have still been there because people want to see Prime. And I feel like, honestly, the only reason people came to homecoming, but I mean, understand it was Jackson State, and understand what they mean to the conference. But at the same time, there has to be a level of we have to respect every single opponent because we come out here and the attendance isn't great. How do you think that the players feel? How do you expect to get 5-star recruits and 4-star recruits? Here comes Kendall. Grab a seat, buddy. You all right? Move it out the way. Old school. Wow.
Hey, everybody, y'all miss me?
What's the word? Never mind. But the question I asked was, if Deion Sanders or Coach Prime, as the Jackson State, people want to do, if he was coaching Mississippi Valley, the people would still show up.
Yeah.
So, if they were 0-7 or not.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that I agree with you. I think that had it been a more star power, high caliber game, I definitely think that it would have been more. But like I said, I wasn't expecting it to be a big turnout.
No,
I wasn't.
It was kind of depressing, honestly.
Yeah. But I mean, the way that the game was formatted, the way that the game was presented, like I said, a 2 p.m. game, worst team in the conference, wasn't really expecting it to be crazy. Wasn't at all.
Let's say y'all don't know what y'all be talking about, Miss Hall. We're not doing this. We're not doing this ASU versus JSU thing. That's something I want to address as well. If you're coming here from JSU and you're expecting us to, talk about the same drama from 2 weeks ago with old news, you're not. I know for me, I don't know about Kendall. I don't have the time for it. Personally, I'm not here. I don't have the energy to give you guys. I'm not here for the entertainment. So if this is what you're coming for, it's not happening. Sorry. Well wishes. Have a safe trip. Anyways.
Well wishes is crazy. But hey, everybody can't get everything right. We got you.
Straight. Anyways, was crazy. But yeah, Mississippi Valley side wasn't impacted at all. They didn't even bring their band. I think, it's also something to say. I think that we should market games better. I don't think that our marketing for games, we only marketed the Jackson State game all year long. It's all people are worried about. They're not even worried about the Classic.
I'm guessing you're talking about on our side of things.
Yes, I don't think that we market the game as well as we could.
I don't think we do that with any sport that we play though.
No.
And I've been said that, whether it's social media or whether it's, just putting out stuff. We don't do a good job with that. I completely agree with you on
that. And I think that if we were to improve that, then fans would feel the support. Because let me say this. I want if let's just say some wild way we win this SWAC championship this year. You know what's gonna happen next year? The same people that didn't show up last year, this present year, are gonna show up next year in the masses.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be consistent. Stay where you at. If you want to be on this side where you're not supporting this, where you're not supporting the team like that, stay over there. If you're gonna support them and ride with them, ride with them. There has to be an equal balance.
I agree. I mean, I think it should be some more excitement around it. Like it's not. And I mean, I felt that we was talking about that in basketball season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, men's basketball plays whoever on a Tuesday or a Thursday night. It's no hype around it.
We have a really good girls basketball team.
Exactly.
And they don't get a crowd. It's not
sure.
It's not fair. There has to be, like I said, balance. And I just want to see it improve.
And that's with the bigger name sports.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just imagine how softball and baseball and
just won a SWAC championship.
All of these teams that nobody really looks at is winning these SWAC championships. Mm-hmm. And they're not getting the respect or the crowd that they deserve. So I definitely think that's a big issue here for sure.
Definitely. Let's go to our next topic. This is something we talked about back in January. Mm-hmm. What would you consider a successful season for Coach Robinson at ASU?
I really like this comment. I'm gonna get back to what you just said.
Okay.
I really like this comment. What are 3 things that can be done to get student attendance to pack the student section every game?
Marketing.
Yeah, I definitely think marketing. I think doing more with the student section. Mm-hmm. I really don't feel like I see it packed a lot, or I see a lot of people over there, but I don't ever see us do anything with it.
Our student section is really the street team, and the street team does a great job.
Yeah, for sure.
They really do.
Yeah,
I will say that they are a great organization. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, that's only like, I think Saturday was maybe like 15 to 20 of them. Mm-hmm. Can we show up in the same? Did you feel the energy in the stadium when Jackson State was here? I felt like our players fed off energy. They came in and they were hyped up. That's why you saw the trash talking. And when emotions are high, adrenaline is high. Adrenaline helps you perform better than you really are.
It was the perfect backdrop for a game of that magnitude. Mm-hmm. Regardless of anything else, it was a great backdrop for a great competition. We don't always do that. And when you don't do that, you
how you gonna acknowledge it?
When you don't have that type of appreciation for what you're watching, when you don't have that type of excitement about a game.
But you post the swarm as ones. But you do all this and that and claim you soft behind them, but you come into homecoming and that's it. Yeah. You come into the classic and that's it. We want you here for the first game of the season, second game, third game, for any home game you can attend, any game. If you claim yourself to be this diehard fan, you have to be every single game. And I don't think it's fair to the players nor Coach Robinson, who the way he has marketed himself over the past couple of weeks, it's not fair to him.
But what was your question?
Oh yeah, because we're ignoring Jackson State people today. What is a successful season for the Hornets in your eyes, and what would you consider a great season for Coach Robinson?
So I'm gonna be honest.
Give him a grade as well.
Okay, so far I probably give him like a B.
Okay.
I think coming in, and I'm gonna be honest, first year head coach, I wasn't expecting a complete turnaround. I never said, all right, we're winning the SWAC championship this year. I never said, not to throw any shade, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
I never said that, we were gonna have this unbeatable team. I never said that. I never thought that was what was gonna happen, because coming in, changing the culture of a team takes more than a year. It always does. Unless you already have the talent and you're just bringing in a new head coach. Mm-hmm. I think we also brought a lot of new talent in.
They performed well.
For sure. And I wasn't expecting them to completely turn it around this season. So I think that I think I'll give them a B, especially if we win, if we end up in the top 3 in the conference. I think we'll get a high B, low A, something like that.
So, I'm a little bit, I've seen the turnaround. I see the improvement in this team. Mm-hmm. I don't think that Best case scenario, a certain coach. But the best case scenario is we win out, obviously. And if he were to finish 8-3, how would you feel moving forward?
If Coach Robinson was to finish 8-3,
finish out the season, winning every single game, winning the Classic, because that's a big game as far as that's something that's I feel like it's an incentive. I'm not sure, but winning that, winning the Labor Day Classic, Turkey Day Classic, defeating FAMU.
I mean, I definitely think I'd be very positive about the team's direction. Where the team can go, because I think we can only get better. I don't see us getting worse next year.
If we can improve our offense, that's everything.
Yeah. So
our defense is still young.
Yeah, and I think that we can. I think that we can definitely work around that for sure. But I personally, I either
make
have
sure
us
y'all
going,
like, comment, subscribe.
Oh yeah, for sure. I either have us going 3-1 or 2-2. The thing about us that's really unfortunate is that FAMU and Alabama A&M are hitting their stride exactly when they need to.
Yeah.
I think FAMU's on a 5-game winning streak and Alabama A&M's on a 3-game winning streak.
And those are only teams above us in our division.
Exactly.
Right,
so we got to beat them.
That's second in our division right there.
So we got to beat them in order for us to get like where I was talking about, get to that top 2, top 3 in the conference. And we play Alabama A&M next weekend, and we play FAMU I think 2 weekends after that. November 12th, I think. So we got to get our stuff together, and they haven't really done as much as I think they can do. We haven't played our best game.
Not at all.
And I
thought that was going to happen Saturday. I thought that was an opportunity for us to finally break through. And I know it's a bad football team, but we haven't put together a full, complete 4 quarters of really good, solid football.
Yeah, for sure.
It's either been, most of the time it's been great first halves, and we're going to hang on by a limb in the second half, aside from Texas Southern game where we came out in the first half, we were sluggish. And then in the second half, we want to turn things on.
We play very predictable.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's play calling, coaching, or just the players not focusing here. Because football is a mental game. Sports are mental. If you're here mentally, there's no way you can't dominate a team. There's no reason we shouldn't have beat Mississippi Valley, an 0-7 football team. I know that what they've done. I know how talented they are, and they're a tough team. They're no easy out because we saw defensively they're there. But at the same time, we're above them talent-wise. I think we are far better than them, ahead of them talent-wise.
I mean, I think there's a reason why they haven't won a game. But I think that one of the things that we do, and I've been saying this all season, we play to the level of our competition. Jackson State came in here a week before that, and we played up. Every other team, it seems like we played down. Now, whether that's the fact that it was homecoming, whether that's the fact of, the Howard game, they couldn't necessarily do that because of all the delays or whatever you want to say, I think that we have a problem doing that. Because teams like that, you're supposed to dominate. Teams like that, you're supposed to beat. And when you beat those teams, that gives you higher morale going into the next game. With as hot as Alabama A&M is right now, I don't know if we have as high morale as they do. And that's not just because they're on a 3-game winning streak. That's because we're on a 1-game winning streak. Our one game that we just won, I don't think anybody was super impressed with.
It was a win, so it's nice to have a win.
Of course. But at the end of the day, like I said, this is an 0-6 team at the time. They're 0-7 now. You're supposed to win that game. You're supposed to dominate that game, and we didn't do that.
They haven't lived up to the talent on the team by any offensively. Defensively, I thought we were going to struggle. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought defense was going to be our weak point, honestly, coming into the year. Because I thought...
I don't know. What made you think that?
Because we lost a couple key pieces.
Okay.
Christian Clark was a big piece.
Okay, for sure.
And then I wasn't sure about how Bubba was going to return.
Okay.
He's been balling. And then these new additions, the defensive transfers have been better than the offensive transfers by a mile.
So put that in a reflect on that though. They've also been healthy. Damaris hasn't been injured.
That's true.
Chauncey hasn't been injured. Brandon Gaddy hasn't been injured. All of the players that's been making plays, if you want to go down the list to freshmen and on down, they haven't been injured.
But when we look at guys like Jalen Lay who have been playing, and you come in here, you're a 4-star from Clemson. I am very disappointed in him. You are 6'6", a 6'6" tight end. You are being guarded by 5'11" players, 6-foot players. You're this big. It's me and him in one body times 2 more people, and you can't make a one-handed catch in the end zone against Jackson State. You can't do certain things. There has to be a level of okay, I'm out here. I'm from Clemson. I'm the big guy on campus. Everybody else out here is beneath me. That's how you have to come to every game. I'm the best player on the field. I don't think anybody on the field at ASU has came into any game this season saying I'm the best player on the field. They haven't shown it. It's a mental thing. It's a mental battle. Whenever you come out there and say I'm the best player on the field, you show it. They haven't shown it or they haven't believed it. You got to believe.
I would argue that Levante has done that. I would argue that Levante
He has just hasn't been healthy.
I would argue that Jeremiah has done that. I would argue it's been players that have done that, but they haven't. Either they've gotten injured during the game or they haven't been able to sustain their play. Mm-hmm. So I disagree with you on that. And with the Jalen Lay situation, for one, we do not, and I keep trying to tell you, I tell you this every week, we do not have an offense that's geared to throw the ball to the tight end. We just don't. If this was last year,
in some facet,
if this was last year,
you have to produce in some way possible.
How you going to produce if you don't run that many routes?
Kendall. But when he does,
you are basing this man's play off of 2 plays.
Kendall,
literally.
Kendall, listen.
2 plays.
Listen. In a small sample size,
of 2 plays.
Listen to me, okay? In a small sample size, what we've seen from him, he hasn't produced any of them. If I give you some applesauce right now, right? And every time I give it to you, you spit it back out. I'm gonna say you don't like applesauce. I'm going to throw it away. I'm not going to keep giving you the applesauce you don't like. I'm not going to keep giving you the ball if you're not doing anything with it.
What if it's the flavor of the applesauce and not applesauce itself? What if that's the case? What if I just don't like the flavor?
Oh, Lord.
Okay, you got to change the approach up. You can't just keep giving me the same thing. What they say? You keep doing something repetitive over and over again. That's insanity, right?
Yes.
All right then.
I told you that.
Okay, I knew that before. That's a worldwide quote.
Okay, yeah. This is well. The offensive line is bad. We get that, but the talent around the offense, the talent on the outside, Jalen Lay hasn't performed. He has not performed at all when he steps on the field. Kendall.
Hey, I want y'all to know. I'm doing a film.
They still talking about Dion. We're not talking about Dion.
Relax.
We're not talking
I'm doing a film breakdown next week. I will bring in them 2 plays that you are talking about, and we'll break those plays down. So make sure y'all tune in for next week because I will be breaking down some film because I need to teach him because he.
I don't know X's and O's, but I know my eye test.
Exactly.
I know what I can see. I know that he is not producing in the times he gets the ball. What does he have, like 5 catches on the season for how many yards? It's under 15 because he doesn't go anywhere with the ball.
It's just the fact that you're basing this off of 2 plays. Because I know exactly what 2 plays you're talking about. Because before last week, you didn't even say anything about him.
Kendall, I was high on him coming into the season.
Okay.
And he has not lived up to the expectations.
What was your expectation?
I thought that he was going to be a reliable target every single time he's up on the field. Okay. He has not been the reliable target at all. Mm-hmm. JSU, move on. We're done. We're going to talk about Coach Prime in a minute. So when we get to Coach Prime, we will get there. But we are not talking about Deion Sanders versus Coach Eddie Robinson. It's a new week. Move on. You have homecoming this week. Deal with it. Back to my point.
Bro, you're on one right now. Okay.
Jalen Lay has to perform. He has not performed to any extent this season that I had for him. Maybe it is play calling. Maybe that's what it is. But I also don't think that with the opportunity he did get, he's taking advantage of it.
What was the name again? I'm sorry.
Jalen Lay.
Okay. What about him? Because what you just said, it didn't click for me.
In the small sample size that he did get opportunity, he did not come through. Maybe it is play calling, but what you knew what the play calling, what the system was going to be when you decide to transfer here.
I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
I don't think that's the case at all. Okay. Because I guarantee you he didn't think that the offensive line was going to be this bad.
Mm-hmm.
And what do I keep telling you about this team? We utilize our tight ends more for blocking than we do actual routes, which is why you don't see them get the ball as much. So when you have an offensive line, there's no way that he can predict that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm hip. Oh yeah, I don't got my name down no more. That's crazy. We definitely do need Collins. That's an assignment for you next week, buddy. We'll have he is stressed. We'll have Collins next week.
A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, but I keep telling you, we do not run tight ends like routes like that. We just don't. If this was last year's offense, I definitely agree with you. Because last year's offense, that's all we did was throw the ball to the tight end. Short 10-yard drags, 5-yard slants, whatever it was. We would always throw the ball to the tight end because those would always be the quickest routes open. We don't do that now. So when you don't do that, I'm not judging a tight end.
We don't have 25 people in here. We have 43. Go ahead.
I'm not judging a tight end because he's not running enough routes to really get the ball. I'm not doing that. So
that's a fair point. I mean, I guess we'll see as he stays here through the long term. We'll see how his development plays out. If I'm right, I'm right. And if you're right, cool.
Okay.
All right. Now let's talk about who everybody came here to hear us talk about. Coach Prime. This is the man of the hour as usual. Coach Prime did a 60-minute interview. 60 minutes interview. And one of the quotes that he said, the question was, if a Power 5 school came calling to you this offseason, would you listen? He said, I'd be a fool not to listen. I would have to be all ears on it. If Coach Prime leaves Jackson State, will he lose any respect? Or, you know what, can I take this first, if you don't mind?
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
You do what you do.
So, because I just got there writing a column on this, so it's fresh in my mind.
Okay.
If you are Coach Prime and you leave Jackson State this offseason, you basically wipe away everything you said prior to that point. All that stuff you're talking about, I want to elevate HBCUs. I'm swag. If I'm not swag, who is? Who is swag? If I ain't swag, who? Baby? That's what he said. Okay. So my point is, you basically wiped away everything you said that's basically like adding a but in a sentence. Nothing good comes after but. I lose all respect. Because it's almost like being in a relationship, right? Okay. It's like you have a girlfriend and you tell your girlfriend, I'm gonna go talk to some other girls and listen to what they gotta say. Okay. If you're listening to what other girls gotta say, you're not committed. You're not committed to the SWAC. You're not committed to Jackson State. You just said last week that you wanted to elevate them to a Power 5 program, a Power 5 conference. Now this week you're talking about leaving?
You got it off your chest?
Yes, I did.
You sure?
Yes.
All right. I mean, first things first, I can't disagree with him when he says he'd be a fool not to. I can't, because I mean he would. Obviously, if you have a job and there's another place that wants to offer you that's, you know, bigger salary or bigger opportunities, you're going to listen at the very least. So I'm not knocking that. Second of all, I think that he's done what he said he wanted to do. You got a chip. You brought a lot of attention to a school that was not going to get a lot of attention otherwise.
Yep.
I think that he's made the SWAC as a whole competitive. I mean, you've done what you said you wanted to do. I don't want him to leave personally, just because I feel like it raises the competitive floor. I mean, I honestly think that the aggressiveness that we're having, that all of these schools are having to recruit 4 and 5 stars, or at least getting on the radar, that's because everybody wants to be competitive. I didn't necessarily see that before. So, you know, regardless of whatever ASU, JSU type of beef that there may be, he's been a valuable asset.
He's been a valuable asset, but you basically disregarded everything you said. If you stay,
How long you want him to stay?
I don't know how long I want to stay. It's not up to me. But if you're going to say nobody asked you to come to the SWAC, first of all, nobody asked you to come to Jackson State. No, that we were the only opportunity that you had because Florida State didn't want to offer you a job. All whatever other school you applied for didn't want to offer you a job. He admitted he did plenty of other interviews, and he said God called him to Jackson State. Well, maybe it's meant to say. Maybe it's meant for you to stay at Jackson State. Maybe God puts you. Sometimes God puts you in a place.
Bro, if you start preaching, I'm
not.
I'm gonna be upset.
Sometimes God puts you in a place to grow. Sometimes He don't want you to leave these places. If He leaves Jackson State, every player that He brought to Jackson State, Deshaun Warner, Nugget, cornerback, Travis Hunter. I'm gonna give you a point on that in a minute. Shador, Shiloh, anybody else he's brought, they're gone. They're leaving with him. They're not staying at Jackson State without Coach Prime being there. Now, a point that I want to say about Travis Hunter is, do you think the reason Travis Hunter, I know he's injured, do you think the reason he is keeping him out right now is so that he can take him and keep him healthy at a Power 5 school next year? Have you ever thought about it like that? He's just holding him off so nobody else can take him, and he doesn't get injured. He's just being, almost like a Christmas gift under the tree.
I think that's a very interesting idea.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do. I mean, I've seen chess plays like that before. I have.
It's calculated.
It definitely is.
I think everything he does is calculated, as you've seen to this point. Every single move is chess. It's not checkers.
Mm-hmm. I definitely do think that could be a possibility. Personally, I feel like there's still some unfinished business. I feel like him coming back next year would be. It would. Now
you can't leave Jackson State without winning a Celebration Bowl.
Fair, but I think that also depends on the offers that he gets.
Mm-hmm.
If you sitting there and you don't got no offer that you're really happy with, but you're just leaving just because it's a Power 5, I don't really think that he would do that personally.
Yeah.
But regardless of anything else, I think that the whole Travis thing. I mean, I really think he could just be waiting until he's actually healthy.
They say he's playing Saturday.
Yeah, so I think that that's one of those things where, as players, I feel like you want to play regardless. We saw that with in the NFL with Tua. Even if you're not good, you still want to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a coach's decision. He's raved about Travis. So I mean, I don't think that he would ever do anything with Travis that would put him in jeopardy to injure himself further. That's
what I'm saying. Do you think he's doing? That's my point.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all think out there? Do you think that he could be holding him off just so he can, take him on as the Christmas gift, the wrap and all that? Take him so he can be healthy when they move on. Because I'm gonna be honest. I see him leaving this summer. I don't see him staying at Jackson State past once the Celebration Bowl is done. I'm gonna give it 2 good weeks. Auburn's gonna call. You got an opportunity to be in a conference with Nick Saban, the best conference in the world. Georgia Tech's gonna. Well, it's gonna be hard to turn down Florida State.
Mm.
I know, they say some things are meant for later. So the first time the job wasn't available. Now it may be perfect timing. It's all God's timing in the day. So that's just my opinion.
I don't know. I got him staying at least another year. But I guess we're gonna see. I don't know.
That's a long year, man. That is a long year. But let's wrap it up with some volleyball and soccer. You got your notes. You got your stuff ready? Oh, you know.
So you told me you had it.
Oh, okay. Well, I got what I need right here. I got it on the dome. So
okay.
Our volleyball team, unfortunately, did not get a chance to play this past Wednesday due to them all being sick.
Mm.
But I will say they have hit their stride at the right point in the season. I want to talk about it in 1 second. I got my stuff right here. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about Brooke Adams. She's been a newcomer. She's been named newcomer of the week after having 43 assists and 9 aces at the SWAC clutch this past weekend. The Hornets are on the road.
Mm.
They are 8-2 over their last 10 games and 8-1 in conference play. I think she's been a great addition to the team. Like I told you before, start the season, I was very low on them Well, I was high on them, and they came out sluggish. And I was like, oh, Lord, it's gonna be another one of these seasons. And they picked it up, and now I think they're second or third in the conference. There's a lot of teams. As far as volleyball, the SWAC is tight. It's very competitive.
I mean, I think with any team, you always want to keep in mind, especially if you're sluggish, you always want to keep in mind that it's a long season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally, what they opened the year up with the 9-game road trip.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wasn't necessarily expecting to see them in mid-season form at the beginning of the season. I just wasn't. Mm-hmm. That's a tough schedule for anybody. I talked to Coach Penny Lucas White before the season started, and she was pretty confident about the fact that we still plan on competing and everything when we go to these when we have this 9-game winning road trip.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I think it's hard for a team to kind of overcome that, especially when you're playing really good competition, which they did.
Mm-hmm.
So
make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe.
So I definitely think that they're hitting their stride, and I think they're hitting it at the right time. Yeah. I would much rather this than the opposite, where they start off hot and then they fall off. Yeah. So I'm definitely happy to see them play as well as they have.
Mm-hmm.
We talked last week, them losing, or them being sick and not being able to play was a big hit. But
yeah,
I think that they're going to be all right. I really do.
Yeah. Also, we got to talk about the soccer team. They are 0-2 over their last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of disappointed in them. I think their biggest issue. I looked at the stats because we didn't get the opportunity to see the game. Their biggest issue is offense. Defense is no problem. They keep things low scoring. Sheila Sanchez blocks everything down.
Oh, for sure.
But they can't produce offense.
Yeah, make sure y'all like the stream.
For sure. We're gonna get to y'all comments in a minute as well. For sure.
For sure.
But so stick around. But they just haven't produced offense. They're not getting enough shot attempts.
Mm-hmm.
The other teams are coming out aggressive against them. And by the time they get an opportunity to get shot attempts, they're already down.
Yeah, I think that losing, because they lost a couple of people last season that were a lot more aggressive. I feel like at least getting those shots up. Obviously with soccer, all of your shots not going to go in, but at the end of the day, you're putting the goalies on their toes and you're making it more competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time with them, it does seem like they want to keep the game low scoring and take advantage of them when they got it. So I definitely think that they'll be better for sure as the team kind of grows. I mean, you're dealing with a young team.
Mm-hmm.
I think anytime that you have a younger team, you're going to have to deal with some growing pains, and I think that that's what they're dealing with right now. But like you said, with Sheila Sanchez playing the way that she's playing, I think that they still make it competitive, and they still can. It's still a tough game regardless. So
yeah, for sure. They'll take on G's team this Friday. They take on Alcorn State, so y'all make sure y'all check them out. Now, Ken, let's get these comments. I want to ask.
Whoa, what about volleyball?
We just talked about volleyball.
I know, but who they play? Come on, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. My fault. Let me check it out. No. I was really focused on. I was very disappointed that they didn't get a chance to play against Alabama because they were hot.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to see them against a very competitive team. 1 second, buddy. 1 second. Y'all give us a second. Dang, bro, you got me on my toes right now, man. I don't appreciate that. They will take on Alabama A&M this Thursday. This Thursday,
okay.
So we get an opportunity to get a lick back from last season. But Kendall, get these likes up.
All right, we gonna see. We're gonna see if that's
up. Get these likes up. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Cash App is down low if y'all want to donate to us. We appreciate any donations, small, medium, or large. We appreciate it. But Kendall, I want to ask since we got so many Jackson State people in here, I want to ask y'all a question. If Dion leaves y'all this offseason, what do y'all do? Do you lose respect for him, or you like, okay, we appreciate it? Because people are talking about that's a premier job if he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really?
What, Jackson State?
Yes. Is it really?
I mean, realistically, anytime that you have a coach leaving a program, all of his players usually don't leave, and if they do, you kind of have some time to. We saw that with the basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
We had our men's basketball team when Mo Williams left. Our men's basketball team, I think, 12.
Basically, all roster transfer.
Yeah, exactly. And some of them did stay. That did enter their name into the transfer portal. So I think it's possible that you can have some people stay for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. I'm not 100% sure if he is prepared for that. I think recruiting-wise, he can step in anybody's building and recruit anybody. That's no question. Anybody's house and get whoever he wants, as he proved with Travis. But when it comes to going to the SEC And you gotta compete with Nick Saban in the South recruiting that. You gotta compete with Kirby Smart. You gotta compete with Lane Kiffins and whatever else is around. It's a completely different ballgame. See, it's easy right here in the SWAC because you the big fish in the small pond in your eyes.
Mhm.
But when you talk about going to SEC, it's a whole different monster.
So since apparently we're just not getting no comments for the last question you asked.
Mhm.
I want to ask the Alabama State folks. What would be your ideal ending to the season? How do you guys feel like we're gonna finish out? We listed the teams that we play. What is it? Alabama A&M, Bethune-Cookman, FAMU, and UAPB. That's the last game. Turkey Day. So how do y'all think that we're gonna do?
He's too fun playing for the white schools.
That I definitely agree with.
Yeah.
That I definitely agree with.
See this call right here. You have to remember you have JSU fans and then there's Deion. There's a difference. And then there's Deion fans. There's a difference. That's true. That's true. I think there's a big difference. I don't think many people follow Deion until obviously everybody knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
But he brought his own fan base, people of his supporters, along with Jackson State.
What two you think we could lose? Because I know when I did mine, it was what was it? It was Alabama A&M and FAMU. I think are going to give us some problems.
So you guys finished 7-5 or 6-5. Did we finish 6-5 last year, or was it 5-6?
I think we finished 5-6 last year.
I think
top of my head, yeah.
Finishing with a positive record is something I'm looking for.
For sure, I think top three. I think top three regardless is good because I think we finished top. I think we finished outside of the top three for sure. Yeah. So I think top three is always going to be, the best outcome. Yeah, we definitely could. We beat Alabama A&M and FAMU. Then, I don't know if it's a lock, but I think those are the two teams that we're competing with for that spot for sure.
Because we would have this. We will hope the tiebreaker against them. Mm-hmm. But as far as our record, it would be honestly if you beat both of them, considering that we play up with our competition, I think you pretty much got it made.
Yeah, I think.
Whichever one you want, bro.
Well, I'll address this one first. I see that my only thing, and I said this earlier, is that with Alabama A&M, they're hot too. So I think both of those teams are hitting their hot streaks right now. So I think it's kind of hard for us coming in there. And I don't know what our offense is going to look like the rest of the season. I think both of those teams know what their offense is going to look like the rest of the season. Ours, I don't even think. Do we have?
Y'all know how I'm feeling about Majesty Classic. Bama State by 50. Give me the camera. Bama State by 50. If you want your shirts called. Right, my bad.
I feel like you was really waiting for that.
I was.
Wow. That's a nice commercial. I gotta give that to you.
Look at you, my bad.
But yeah, with A&M, I feel like it's a rivalry game. So I think those games can always be tight. Those games can always be close, but I don't know. And then we got FAMU at home. So we have some advantages on paper, but I don't know if we're going to be able to take advantage of it.
Well, yeah. FAMU was a really good defense. A&M, not so much. I think we could put some points on them. We put up like 30 against them last year. Mm-hmm. And exactly, A&M still doesn't have a quarterback. But to be fair, we don't necessarily have one either. To be fair. Demetrius is – I think he's the one that we want. Yeah. He's the one that will continue to push. Mm-hmm. But, Miles is definitely no slouch.
Yeah. And I see the crazy part is last year that was a good thing. But now I feel it's still a good thing, but I think a lot of people would rather just have one quarterback that is going to play the whole season. Mm-hmm. Yeah, offense is very concerning. And that's one of the things that I'm kind of like, I don't really necessarily know how that's going to work. The way that the offense is and like we talked about earlier with the inconsistencies, I don't really know how I feel about them going into it.
From what I've seen, we really just want to run the ball down everybody's throats. Mm-hmm. I think that's something that we really try to do.
But even then, though, our number one running back isn't
not performed.
Yeah,
this has been a very, very disappointing season for Ja'Cory, in my opinion. I expect, and maybe I don't necessarily think it's his fault. But one game over 100 yards is not. He was a lot better last year.
For sure. I definitely agree that he was a lot better last year. One of the things about Ja'Cory that I feel like he's kind of a victim of his offensive line, but I think he's also a victim of his running game too.
But even we were healthy early in the season with the offensive line, they still weren't great. Demetrius, that's one of the reasons why Demetrius is hurt right now because the offensive line. Like you want to say he held on to the ball so long, but at the end of the day, he's still taking hits literally every single time he gets the ball.
Bro, the play that he got injured on against Jackson State, that was a free blitz.
Mhm.
Dude just blitzed up the middle. So I mean, like, in certain situations, yeah, I think he holds the ball too long. But I think with situations like that, you really can't do anything about it.
Mhm.
That's literally a free hit.
Yeah.
So,
all line got to get better, man. They've been a struggle all season.
mhm.
They've been the weakest point on this team. Between them and special teams,
Yeah,
I don't know.
special teams has been pretty rough.
Yeah.
I think special teams, they're kind of hit or miss, I feel like.
Mhm.
But special teams, the way that our offense is set up, our special teams has to be that much better.
Yeah.
Because if we say we get the ball on kickoff and we're in a bad spot, we got to go the length of the field instead of starting at the 40 or instead of starting at the 50.
Yeah.
That's tough. For an offense that struggles to move the ball, that struggles to score,
Yeah.
to do consistently, that's tough. So that's one of the things that I'm really worried about. And I think that's one of the reasons why the special teams play is so important.
So this is a very fair point. I think that it does hurt HBCUs if he leaves for sure, but at the same time, it's not that we're respecting us anyways. I mean, he definitely brought a little bit more respect. He pushed a little bit further, but it's not like they were putting every single SWAT game on TV on ESPN from the get go. I mean, look at us. When we play at Howard, it was going to be on ESPN with Prime or without Prime. We've had draft picks, Titus Howard, rest in peace to Tavares Jackson. We've had draft picks, Isaiah Crowell, without Dion being here. So there was still, they will find you wherever you go. He definitely helps it, but he's not the end all be all. If we're a competitive team, people are gonna respect us. Or a competitive conference.
I agree. Kick return especially has been a bright spot for sure. I think what we've seen.
I gotta click that comment next.
We've seen a lot of different players at the kick return position or
Levante,
at the kick returner position.
Jeremiah.
Yeah, Levante Chenault, Jeremiah Hickson, Isaiah Scott. And I think we might have seen Nazareth Bryant too.
Yeah, they all did well.
Yeah, for sure. And I like I said, that's really important because our offense doesn't move the ball as much. So we definitely gotta get that right for sure.
Yeah. And this is so true. That's people because Coach Prime I want to say he got hired after the George Floyd situation. A couple months after. George Floyd happened in March or April of 2020.
I thought on the interview he said 2 weeks after that.
He got hired 2 weeks after it?
I thought that's what he said.
Either way.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Either way, he wasn't there as soon as that happened. So players had started talking about going to HBCUs after that situation. The whole black community was up high. They were up here during the George Floyd situation as far as getting support from different people.
For sure.
Santo Dunn he had a very disappointing game. I expected him to get off. I expected him to play well against Jackson State, and I expected him to play well this past weekend, and he just didn't do it. We haven't solidified the number one running back. I think Ja'Cory is supposed to be that guy. I want Jawan to get more carries, but at the same time, none of them have separated. So we got too many questions in the backfield, quarterback and running back. You pulling up stats?
Okay. All right, I'll give you that. He definitely could have been better. I think he had 20. He ended up with
26 yards with 6 carries.
Nah, he ended up with 6 yards. With a net 6 yards because he lost 20 yards.
That's because a lot of times I think with Santo, he cuts out. So his biggest strength is his biggest weakness as well. He tries to get to the perimeter defense. Yeah. And it can kill him sometimes because sometimes you got to get up the field. And
sometimes I think he doesn't hit the holes the way that he needs to.
Corey's the one that tiptoes to me, honestly.
Like you said, sometimes I feel like with swing plays or sweeps or whatever it is, I feel like he rides the perimeter a little too much when he could just cut in and then get more yardage, positive yardage. But I mean,
That's a
yeah,
fact.
I love Santo. I love the way that he's been playing. I honestly think he's shown up as the best running back on the team. I
Mhm.
think overall, you know, what he does in the passing game, what he does on the ground game, I think he's been the best running back by far. But I think the thing with him is he's really hard to tackle too.
Mhm.
We've seen guys like he's not that tall. Like I think
Maybe
what
like
he
5'6", 5'7".
it I don't even know what his exact height is, but I know that he's bouncing off of hits that normal players aren't bouncing off.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think, you know, his low center of gravity helps for sure. And I think that he's definitely being helped a lot. Or he's definitely helping this offense a lot for sure.
Yep. What you going?
Yeah.
Check that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've said the same thing because I think it's a great opportunity, and I think you've seen the big players, you've seen the big time names that have committed to HBCUs, and I'm hip, that have committed to HBCUs and that have they're doing good things. You know, I think one of the things that Travis said about it was, you know, doing something for the people, and I think that that's a good mindset to have about it. You know, I really think that if HBCUs could offer the same stuff as Power Fives, I think that we'd be having a totally different conversation. But obviously, you know, there's an imbalance there, and I think it definitely got to be addressed. It got to be changed for sure.
Exactly. Nothing has drastically changed. Now, if we were on the national stage week to week to week, at least one game, because I think we've had some games that were ESPN worthy. But at the end of the day, we're on ESPNU, ESPN2, ESPN Plus. It ain't like they just, giving us these big time deals.
I mean, and one of the things that we try to do is we try to keep up with as much SWAC sports as possible, or SWAC football as possible. But that's really hard to do.
It is.
I mean, if you don't
it's part of the reason why we can't. We would love to cover every single game and go week to week.
Mm-hmm.
However, HBCU Go doesn't, or is HBCU Plus? I get HBCU Go, but they don't carry every single game. The SWAC needs to get a package together where you can see every single game.
Not even just like the. I mean, not even the fact that we're just students. Like we're even when we do have our free time and we're trying to prep for shows and stuff like that, we can't. It's hard to watch a Texas Southern game, or it's hard to see a Prairie View game like just off.
And if we find it, it may not be the best quality on YouTube,
it may just be highlights.
Exactly.
And most of those highlights may not be about the team that we're actually trying to see.
Exactly. So, G, we're gonna get you on that. We're gonna get you. You can't slide on that one.
I'm gonna go to my mom.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Gee, what happened, man? What happened? I mean, I was kind of rooting for y'all on the low too. I'm trying to figure out what happened.
We made some predictions on that, but I forgot what our predictions.
Yeah, so did I. I definitely forgot about that. Definitely forgot. Hey, man. It happens to the best of us. It
happened to us as well with the Jackson State thing. So, and people were all here dogging us. Y'all brought the dogs to us, Yes, we are current students. Junior.
Yes, sir. Current students. Yeah, like you said. I don't even remember. I don't remember who we had in Southern versus Alcorn. I do know that it was split though, because I remember them.
I think I said Southern.
So I said Alcorn.
We might have both said Southern because.
Dang, I think you're right. Actually, now if I remember, because wasn't that when we was over there?
Yeah, that's when we were over there.
Yeah.
Because he was mad. Like,
yeah. I remember now. I remember that now. Okay, I got you.
Either way, y'all took a loss.
Yeah.
The game was a good game, but you took a loss at the end of the day. So,
what's another question? How many of y'all that's in the comment section? How many of y'all going to the Magic City Classic?
If you see us, please speak. You know, we appreciate any kind of love. You know,
Oh, for sure. We will be down there Wednesday.
up there. He's not Grayson. He's not from Alabama, but it's up there. We understand.
You knew what I meant, bro.
Hey, I got you, man.
We'll be up there Wednesday.
We fact checked
next Wednesday. So make sure y'all let us know. You know, if y'all gonna be there, make sure y'all contact us and we can meet up.
We need to try to do a show.
Oh yeah, for sure. We definitely gonna try to have a show for y'all out and everything like that too. So just make sure y'all let us know.
Biggest fan, man. Biggest fan.
I knew Miss King was gonna be there.
Appreciate that.
What else you? Did we already ask? What's your most anticipated game, the rest of the week or the rest of the season?
You asking me?
Yeah.
For me, I mean, honestly, you got to win the Majesty Classic. It will make up for losing homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you competed very well, it will make up for losing
homecoming. Play Alabama
A&M. Yeah.
Next Saturday, I believe.
Next Saturday at 2:00, Birmingham, Alabama, Legion Field. Make sure y'all there.
Magic City Classic.
I think we gotta beat A&M. We gotta beat them convincingly. It can't be, no squeaker. I would love to see us beat them by 50. I would love to see that happen.
Man,
we haven't beat A&M in what? I want to say 5.
I think they got I think it's 4. I think it's a 4.
Y'all in the comments, let me know how long it's been.
I think they got a 4-game winning streak on us. I think it's either 4 or 5, like you said, but I think it's 4.
That's gonna be a great week.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't have us. First of all, I don't have us beat nobody by 50 for sure. But I don't. I gotta see. I don't have that much confidence in the offense to put up that many points. I
didn't have confidence in the offense last year. They still put up 30, and we're scoring efficiently.
So there's a big difference between 30 and 50, right? And you said beat a team by 50, so that mean that they gonna score some points, or that mean that that's.
I want a 50-point shutout.
So that mean that we got to score more than 50 points.
I want a 50-point shutout. That's what I want. Go ahead, you can grab it. Do what you got to do.
Okay, so the defense, I give you that, but you think the offense is going to be? Well, okay, who are you envisioning? At the quarterback position for this?
Houdini.
Okay, so Houdini with a bum throwing shoulder. You think he putting up 50 points? No disrespect to Didi, of course, but you think that
if Ryan could do it last year,
if Ryan could do what?
He put up 30 last year.
No. See, this how I be catching him. Because I want y'all to hear what he said. The shirt say Bama State by 50, but notice how he keep talking about 30, right?
Can we both agree that Demetrius is a better quarterback than Ryan?
Sure.
Okay.
That's a debate for a different day, but sure.
The talent difference on this team and last year's team is leaps and bounds. I believe in this team offensively against A&M. A&M, my biggest thing is this: A&M doesn't have a good defense like that. You let Grambling hang with you, and Hugh Jackson still hasn't won a game in a SWAC, and you let them hang with you.
He hasn't even met him yet. That's the crazy part. In person, he's never met him. Very true. But my whole thing is just the offense. Defense is going to do what defense does.
They don't have a quarterback, bro. How are you going to score points against our stout defense, when I think is the second best defense in the conference, if you don't have a lead man?
I could see if the argument was a shutout, but you keep saying Bama State by 50.
A 50-point shutout.
How are we putting up 50 points?
We're going to drop 21 in the first half.
Okay, we put up 21 in the first half. I'll give you that. We've done that before. But how many points did we put up after that? 0, right? Okay, continue.
29. Huh? 29 points in the second half.
You really had to do the math. I'm not even going to get into that. I'm not even going to get into that. But I at least that makes one of us. I still don't understand how a team that hasn't put up 30 points is putting up over 50.
I'm telling you right now. If and when we beat them by 50,
I agree. I agree. I think it's going to be a close game.
When we do, you're not gonna see me on this show. I might be in Birmingham City.
Oh yeah. I think you definitely.
I'm running on the field. I'm
sure.
gonna grab the trophy and claim that I'm the reason we won the game.
For sure. I still don't understand. I have no idea how that's gonna happen. If it does, hey, more power to you. But I don't know how that's gonna
happen. 50-0.
50-0?
50-0. I said what I said.
Okay.
Did I stutter? Did I stumble?
You definitely did not.
Okay. Then.
All right. I'll say 35-28 us.
Let me say this real quick. Bulletin board, shuffleboard. Bulletin board, shuffleboard. I'm bored. Bama State by 50. You can put it on. You can write it on a car. You can write it on anything you want to write it on. Bama State by 50. Whatever board you want to name, it don't matter. It don't matter. It does not matter. You can have a Mainer, a Mayor, a Slayer, a Dragon Slayer. Bama State by 50. I rest my case.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, man. I wish I had as much confidence as you.
I got confidence.
I really do.
Man. I got confidence.
I wish. After the Jackson State loss, you came on here. You were kind of discouraged, bro. I'm glad that you finally got your swagger back, man.
I do.
Good, bro.
I'm a typer right here. Mainer, Slayer, Dragon Slayer. Bama State. I don't care, Kendall. By 50.
That's what you should have said.
I did.
That's what you should have said.
Oh.
You said bulletin board. Bulletin board. What are you talking about?
I was trying to think of something.
I see. Hey, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But hey, I'm hoping that we have our best game against. Now if we saying who we gonna have our best game against, I'll say
it's all gonna come together. You know when Jesus said, "Let there be light," and the sun and the moon moved, and the sun just.
What you listen to a sermon before this?
No,
I ain't never heard you preach like this.
I've been praying a lot in the morning. I've been talking, have my relationship with God. Me and God, we got that.
Okay, Pastor.
We're like Kobe and Shaq right now.
Okay, Pastor.
He said, "Let there be light," and then Coach Robinson, the light shined on Coach Robinson. It shined on the Madison City Classic. It shined on A&M. And Demetrius Davis came at the healthy. He's tossing touchdowns to Jeremiah Hickson. Ja'Cory Merritt hustling down the field. Touchdown. The band playing. Alabama. Hell, college so dead. All that stuff. It's all going to be so beautiful when it comes together. And I'm going to be sitting in the press box. It's supposed to be cloudy that day, so I ain't going to have no sunglasses on. I'm going to be chilling, man. I love my school. Go Bama State.
I respect it. Nah, that was wild. That was wild. But yeah, bro, I definitely think that they're gonna play their best game. I think that if they weren't up for any other game, I think that they're gonna be up for this one for sure.
Yeah, especially if you didn't win a homecoming.
Yeah,
because you saw how amped up they were for that game, especially the defense. I saw some energy I had never seen before.
For sure. I think that this game and Magic City and Homecoming go hand in hand, I feel like. Especially since they changed the format of Turkey Day Classic, I feel like they definitely go hand in hand.
A&M hasn't been them not having a quarterback has really held them back.
We still talking about a team that's on a 3-game winning streak though.
Yes.
At the end of the day, I understand that, but they winning games.
Kendall, you beat Grambling. I want to say.
Okay.
I think I really want to say that their other win was against Mississippi Valley. Let me go check real quick. You keep the people entertained.
Keep the people entertained. Oh yeah. I feel bad for y'all. Can't lie to you. Having to defend a 50 piece. That's
you
tough.
beat Bethune-Cookman, who just got beat by Jackson State by 40.
Okay.
You beat Grambling. You struggled with them. You beat them in overtime, who was the worst team in their division. And you beat Arkansas Pine Bluff, who got to a hot start this season, but they're falling back to the pack. You beat three of the worst teams in the conference.
Who we got wins over?
We got wins over Mississippi Valley,
Worst team in the division.
Texas Southern,
Okay.
impressive win, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Texas Southern beat Southern,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
Howard, who is one of the worst teams in their division. See, this is what I be talking about when I say I don't put a lot of stock in the
We've
wins.
been competitive in those games. The games that we lost in our conference, we were competitive in.
Okay.
It matters.
Okay.
Me losing, I mean, a loss is a loss, but me losing by 50 and me losing by a touchdown is two different things.
So at the end of the season, regardless of what happens, at the end of the season, when we look at the standings, are they gonna say whatever record competitive? Does that matter in the standing?
No, but we're gonna be in.
Okay, so wins and losses matter, right?
We're gonna be over though.
So we shouldn't really care about who was competitive, right?
We're gonna be over though.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying because you're knocking a team for not being competitive in certain situations, but they still win the game.
Whoa. Oh Lord.
It's different playing in the game and being an alumni.
Oh Lord.
I definitely think that. Okay. I definitely think that he'll have him ready. Like I said, more than anything else, he'll have him ready for sure. But yeah, I don't know where competitiveness falls in the standings. I've never seen that before. Okay. Yeah. So okay, all right. Let's just say hypothetical. We in the Magic City Classic and we losing. You gonna say, okay, we was competitive, or you gonna say, as a person that said Bama State by 50, if we're competitive in a game, you think that's good?
See, us being competitive, I was happy being. We back. I don't know if y'all still here. We back. Can y'all hear us? Y'all see us? Everybody good? We good. I think y'all can see it. Question: the Adrian Maddox. Right there. Oh, shit. Please don't fight. Please don't do us like this Wi-Fi. I think Adrian Maddox is a very underrated part of the defense. He's gonna be a problem in the future.
I definitely think he should be. He's been. I think when you have a freshman that makes as many game-changing plays as he has,
especially with turnovers,
I think that he should definitely be. If he doesn't win it, he should definitely be top 2, top 3 as a candidate for sure. Because he's been phenomenal this season for what they've asked him to do. Obviously, as a freshman, you're not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes, but the things that he's done well for this team has meant everything to it.
Yeah. Make sure y'all like the stream and comment, and make sure you subscribe and share as well.
I'm not gonna lie, I definitely thought we got hacked.
I wouldn't be surprised because we were doing just fine.
I know, right? Nah, it's our Wi-Fi. Our Wi-Fi been killing this.
Either Wi-Fi or we can hack.
Yeah.
It might be the Jackson State haters out there.
Nah, man, that's definitely the Wi-Fi. I would like to see it. I really would. I really would like to see DD play a full big game his freshman year. he hasn't done that. So I really hope that he can.
I want him to finish his back half of the season healthy.
I do too.
He hasn't got an opportunity to really experience. We haven't got an opportunity to really see what this dude can do.
He still played like what? He still played only one game, only
one
full
game.
game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leave the card and take it. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I mean, I think out of anybody, I think that the quarterbacks for Alabama A&M have been very disappointing, especially when you're coming off of Akil Glass. I think he played. I want to say he played four seasons. He might have played 5. I don't know. So yeah, I definitely think that's something that's concerning for them. For us, I think it's good. You know, like I said, I think our defense is going to eat. I don't think our defense is going to have any issues. I only worry about how our offense or what our offense can do with whatever the defense gives. So I mean, that remains to be seen though, for sure. Y'all got anything else for us before this Wi-Fi take us out again?
We wrap up.
Yeah. Defense, I would say Demarais Bellamy for sure.
Colton
Adams, Brandon Gaddy, Chauncey Moore, and Keenan Isaac.
Keenan has been the best corner in the SWAC this year, in my opinion.
I definitely think he's up there for sure. I think as far as new additions, I think Demarais, Bellamy, and Chauncey Moore have been invaluable to this team's success. Chauncey is probably one of the best man-to-man coverage players I've seen on this team, and Demarais and Colton Adams have been one of the best linebacker duos in the conference.
Yeah,
they work off of each other very well. Demarais, I think his play style fits a linebacker better. He came in as a safety I think he played at USF.
USF.
Yeah, I said UCF last time. But he's been really great as a linebacker. And I think that the linebacking core has been phenomenal.
I think you got to go get a quarterback.
Yeah, they did say offense too.
Offense.
Yeah.
The offensive impact players.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Santo Dunn. He's been a big impact player on the offense. Obviously, we haven't been able to. I wish that we could have seen him as a starter for the full season.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy I was really excited about was Levante Chenault, and we didn't get the opportunity to really see what he could have done. I thought against Jackson State he was about to cook. I'd say that he was about to cook Jackson State in the worst way.
He had a couple of games where he came out guns blazing, and you really thought he was gonna.
And then the knee.
Yeah, he for those of you who don't know, he recently tore his MCL.
PCL.
So definitely prayers up to him, wishing him a speedy recovery for sure. A big part of this team that we're gonna miss. But you know, like I said before, wishing him a speedy recovery.
Whenever he gets healthy, it's gonna be a problem though.
Oh, definitely. What you wanna get this question?
As far as us getting a quarterback, I think he has to. I don't think that we have enough, especially with the possibility that I could honestly see Miles transferring this off season due to him feeling like he could be a starter at any other school.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you have to have somebody in place, and also considering the fact that Demetrius has been so injury prone, you gotta always think about that. It never hurts. The competition is always great, and for us, especially in the position we're in, you want to see us with a great quarterback. But the first thing I'm doing for Coach Robinson, I'm going to transfer portal. I'm getting some O-linemen.
For sure.
That's the first thing I'm doing. Before I even look at a quarterback. It don't matter who's back there. It don't matter if it's Tom Brady back there. If you don't got nobody blocking for him, it don't matter.
Either that. Well, I mean, maybe they might need to change up the scheme too. I've talked about different personnel groups that they could bring in, 22s. For those of you who don't know, that's 2 backers, 2 tight ends. Having your running back always be like in pass protection. Stuff like that, bringing in fullbacks, all of that type of stuff could definitely help. But that's for this season. Next season and off season, I definitely think that we gotta target some linemen for sure.
Yeah. No updates on the recruits.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything about those recruits. So
I think he's had 3 because he had 3 in the first 3 games of the season.
Who are you talking
about? Adrian.
3 picks
Yeah,
or turnovers?
He had 3 turnovers. I want to say he had 2 picks or 1 pick and 2 fumble recoveries. So I can't remember. Either way, he had 3 turnovers. Though.
I mean, right now, I would probably say I got Keenan ending up with. I'll say I got Keenan ending with 4 or 5, and I got Adrian ending up with. I'll say 3 for Adrian. Really, just because I feel like he does a lot of other things that Keenan doesn't do, to generate turnovers and to put himself in position. I want to say he blitzes more than Keenan too. So I think Keenan will have the edge on him as far as turnovers or picks.
We're gonna stop at an hour 30, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I definitely think whoever they end up having at quarterback, they definitely need somebody that compete with them for sure.
I think we need new helmets in general. Honestly, I think it's time for a jersey update for the whole for our football team as a whole.
I think we need more combos. I think for sure.
That gold helmet is very outdated.
I think it depends. I mean, knock on wood, I think that we're still going to win, but I think it depends on how. If it's a blowout, then
everything's on the table.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to take the helmets. I mean, the Hornets. Nah. If he do that, that would be crazy. Oh, they still talking about the
Use my nose issue.
Oh, they're definitely welcome. They are definitely welcome. We would love to meet up with y'all during the Magic City Classic.
Absolutely. Even potentially do a show.
For real. Swagging the Fool, we would love that. For sure. Most definitely. The trenches is where we struggle the most, I think.
My man, go ahead.
No, that was all.
Oh, I think even defensively, our defensive front isn't great.
They have great games. They definitely have great games.
Not consistent though.
Yeah, I think the consistency can still be better too. Yeah, because I don't necessarily think that a freshman is going to give him the competition. I really don't. And we also don't know what Joe's going to do. Joe's also a candidate for a transfer portal type situation, something like that. So I mean, it remains to be seen with that type of stuff for sure. The Hornets will look.
Colton's still gonna be here. Colton is a sophomore, number 1.
Urshad is a senior.
Junior or senior? He's
a senior. He's either a senior off the field and
junior.
Yeah.
Either way, he'll be back next year.
I think. I'm not totally sure on that. Damaris is gonna be here. 14.
Adrian's for sure gonna be
yeah.
Adrian's here for the long.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that dude right there.
Yeah, me too. I think you obviously have to replace those holes. Because those are definitely holes. Keenan and Brandon are big parts of this team, this defense for sure. But I think you can replace them. Obviously not exactly. But I think that we have some people behind them.
Senior. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was about to say he's definitely a senior, but I think that we have people that can replace them.
That'll be Chauncey next year, replacing spot.
Who, Keenan? Oh yeah.
Urshad.
No, I disagree completely. Urshad is more of a in the box type safety. I want Chauncey in space. I want him in phase and stuff like that. I don't want him. Yeah, Joe Owens. I think that. I mean, he's third string right now. I don't know if I can see him transferring or not, but
I can say last year he won games. I mean, he didn't put us in position to lose.
Yeah, this year, I mean, we haven't really seen him that much, but yeah, he hasn't been, as impactful, I'll say, as he was last year.
Yeah, Corey Vickers, number 11 is Chauncey. That's what we're talking about. He's a very underrated part of the defense. We got a lot of transfers on defense that have made instant impacts.
He's probably my top 3 favorite guys on defense, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes we can get obsessed with the stars, which I think it's very easy to get carried away. I think we have a couple players that have big stars by them right now, and they haven't made much of an impact yet. You really got to see how they fit in your system.
Yeah, and I think that the system is the key. Like you just said, we got to get guys that fit. I mean, if we're not going to be a pass heavy team when it comes to tight ends, we're not going to run our tight ends on routes and stuff like that. Bringing in 4-star and 5-star tight ends that are receivers isn't really the best idea for us. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share the stream.
He's 17.
Ooh.
I didn't even know he was that young.
I'm not surprised.
17 though.
You know, ages are everything now.
But as a college, wow, yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that at all. Now, come on, man. The Mighty Marching Hornets, of course.
Absolutely.
Of course. That's not even a question. Come on. I feel like I don't know.
I don't think Coach Robinson wants to bring any more attention to himself this year.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah. I guess you're right about that. Yeah.
Adrian, Urshad, Chauncey, and Demarez.
I would add Colton
and Keenan.
I would add Colton, Bubba Adams in there too.
Yeah. They get after every single game. Natron, I want to say Natron is a sophomore, but he got benched this season because as soon as we started playing, teams that really attacked him, he didn't show up well. He had his moments. He's a good rotational corner.
He's a senior.
Even better. But no disrespect. But he has a long way. Yeah, they got a band for sure.
Exactly.
Hiding my face.
But yeah, I definitely think that I think that our defense, we have so many guys on that defense that are good. We probably also have guys on the bench that aren't getting as much play. I mean, our defensive rotations have been a little bit better, but I think that we're gonna be fine. No, you got it.
I'm gonna say Demetrius. Just because I haven't seen enough, I need to see him. If we had seen Demetrius through the first 5 games, play 4 or 5 games of this season, we would have a diagnosis on what he is as a player. And then not even a lot of people forget he's a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
He's had 3 years at Auburn, but he's still a freshman. He doesn't have much experience. It's his first time ever stepping foot, taking snaps. So I know he's gonna go miles probably.
So I think that like everything you said about Demetrius, I agree with. I think my issue with Miles is if you're going to have Miles starting, you need to have the offense around him that's going to make him the most successful. This offense is not catered to him enough to make him successful. We saw he had a lot of success last season with, like I was saying before, short routes, a lot of tight end heavy routes as well. He had a lot of success with that. So I don't really know exactly how that's going to go. I would say Demetrius, though. I definitely would. But I think the offense would have to look completely different in order for Miles to be my starting quarterback. Officially. I did. That's my guy. Yeah, I laughed. I did. I'm not surprised. Like I said, he should definitely be all swag. No doubt about it. It definitely got to be better. I think we struggle in the red zone more than we struggle anything else. I think the past couple of games we've gotten down the field, but we just struggle to put the ball in the end zone. So
yeah, play calling has been very questionable, and the execution hasn't been great either.
I also, like I keep saying, I also feel like we have a lot of deep routes that we run. And like I said, I'm gonna be doing some film breakdown next week. So I'll be able to kind of show you guys that better than I can tell you. But we have a lot of deep routes. And our quarterback can't go through the progression the way that he should with those routes because of the pressure, because of how our quarterbacks react to any pressure at all because of the way that they've been sacked before. So I think that that's an issue with our I think that's an issue with our route combination sometimes, because sometimes I feel like they can be a little bit too complex.
I would say us.
Alabama State University, of course. The jump pass, I think they're talking about.
Jalen Lay dropped.
It was good. I mean, it was a trick play. You know, I think trick plays are always gonna be pretty good. I haven't seen a trick play that I didn't like that we ran this season.
Execution of it was great.
Yeah, I think execution is always the biggest thing. But man, we at 30. Yeah, I like how we're doing. Very true. Very true.
For sure. That's gonna do it for this episode, y'all. We appreciate all the love and support. Like we said, if you see us in the game, you see us around campus, if you're a student watching this, we appreciate all the athletes that Jeremiah shouts out. He's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but we appreciate all the love and support. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. You see the Cash App right there. If you want to donate, you can Cash App.
Follow our socials: Wildcard2K, Instagram, Twitter,
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Connect with us. You want to do a show with us? Got you. Whatever y'all need, we here.
Appreciate the love, support, all of that. Thank you guys. See y'all next week.